Hello my fellow freedom builders and welcome back to the channel. Now today it is Tuesday and now normally I would not make a video today, but I've gotten so many questions about a single topic that I thought I would put it in today. And of course the topic is, can we use trend following in the crypto market? And I guess you know what crypto is. That is this blockchain technology that is behind Bitcoin and Ethereum and Ripple and all of these different coins. There are hundreds, if not thousands of coins in the market right now. And the thing is that they are digital currencies. And right now there is a debate as to if the Bitcoin should come in and take over for gold. Is Bitcoin our new gold? I'll not go too deep into that, but in my mind, there is a very big difference between Bitcoin and gold. There are, of course, some advantages to the cryptos. They are easily to send across borders and so on. It is not a physical commodity in that way. But I do not see Bitcoin and gold competing in the exact same space. But that might be a video for another day. Today I'm going to have a look at if we can actually use my strategies, if I dare call them that. It is of course not my invention completely. But can we use the strategies that I normally use in the crypto space? And I can give you the quick answer, yes you can. But maybe not in the exact same way, but let me get to that just in a second. Before I get to that, remember to subscribe and like this video, hit all the buttons below, and also hit the link below the video to www.buildingfreedom.dk, where you can put in your email and get a little investment course from me and also receive my emails. Good, let's get to the topic of the day, and that is of course the cryptos. And here we can see we have the Bitcoin in dollars. I have tried to put some arrows on here. I know it can seem a bit confusing, but what I've been trying to do is that with my strategy where I'm following trends, I've tried to see where would I have got in and out of Bitcoin. And of course right now Bitcoin is extremely exciting, because if we look back, let's just have a look at the weekly chart here. Now, Bitcoin was pretty much judged as dead when we had the crash here in 17. So for just about 3 years, Bitcoin has been in this slump where it went down, 85%. And the fans of Bitcoin said, yeah, well, that's not really a big deal because it has done so before. It has been down many percentage, but look back here in 14, for instance. I'm not sure how far. That's the exact same picture. It went down 85%, something like that. And then it rallied up. So the fans of Bitcoin and of other cryptos are saying, just wait and see, it will come back. I must admit, I had my doubt. But as for right now, it is back at the exact same top as it was in 17. So something could indicate that they might be right. Some say it will go to 1 million. Well, that would be nice if you have it here around 18,000. Now the question is, of course, do you dare buy in at 18,000? And if you're saying, no, that is too expensive, that is the exact same thing they say at 13,000 and at 3,000 and at 600. So I guess there'll never be a right time to get into the crypto market. But let's have a look at if we can actually use the strategies that I normally use. As you know, when we're looking at stocks, I tend to look at the weekly chart, that is the left one here, to see if we are doing better than the overall market. I'm not sure how much it makes sense to compare Bitcoin to, for instance, S&P 500. You might compare it to gold or oil. And the good thing with this CRS indicator is that you can just put in something else and say, for instance, I want to compare it to gold. And when you do that, you will get another picture and you can experiment and see what kind of market you would compare it to. Now, I've been looking a bit back in time, and I'm not certain that looking at the weekly chart to determine the trend and then the daily chart will be the right thing in Bitcoins. Now, of course it is right now because it has been trending and going up like 80-90%. And in scenarios like this is what the internet salesmen will always sell you. It'll show you some extremely trending environment like this, and then they'll put on their magic indicator that they sell you for only $99.95. And they will show you, look at this, you would have made a fortune. Yes, but we also want to have a look at times where things go sideways. And it seems like we might be getting in and out of Bitcoins and being a bit whipsawed here if you're just using normal weekly and daily time frames. I'm not certain that is the best way to go. Now, if I were to trade Bitcoins or some of the others, I have just collected 5, the Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ripple, and Litecoin. I know we could have picked 1,000 others, and there's I just picked some of the big ones, but it was not to offend anyone or that I'm leaving your favorite coin out. But let me show you what I think will be a better idea if you were to trade these. Remember that when we are trading these, a lot of brokers, a bit more retail brokers are they're offering this now, but just be aware of the spread, meaning the price, the price you're paying to trade, basically, the difference between the buy and the sell price, what it is offered, what is a bid and what is the offer. Because at many of the brokers I have seen at, there is a huge spread, meaning that you are starting pretty much down when you are trading this. It might be that if you're trading euro dollar, you can get in at half a pip or 1 pip in difference in the spread, but I have seen Bitcoin traded at 50 pips or something like that in the spread. I'm not certain if that has become better now, but it was just something you need to be aware of so you don't put on a trade and then get a really lousy deal being in the negative from the first second of the trade. So what I would do if I were to trade Bitcoins or some of the others, I think I would take it so that my largest time frame would be the daily time frame, as you can see here, just the same as the one over here. And then I think I would go down to something like a 4-hour time frame on my on what is normally the daily here, meaning that I'll be trading at a bit shorter time frame. And that is simply because there is so many swings and so much volatility in Bitcoins that I would probably try to get some of the smaller trends here instead of just picking one long trend. As I said before, looking at this long trend, of course, we should just have bought here and held it. And that would, of course, have netted us a very nice 60, 70, 80%, something like that. However, we would probably also have been in a lot of trades that were not giving us a profit. Let's say we shorted the Bitcoin here and got closed out here, we would have lost 13 or 14%. And that is, of course, the entire concept, the philosophy behind trend following, and that is that you have one long trend that pays for all the losers. Now, as I said, what I think I would do if I were to trade this is that I would try and find a good entry here, coming up above the 20 SMA, bouncing on that with the RSI also bouncing, not touching the 50 line, or at least not going below, and then saying, yes, here around the 19th of October, we would start looking at our 4-hour time frame, and that is just around in this range. And you can see we are getting these bounces. We could have gotten in quite nicely here around 11,700. And as you know, I do like to see the price really establishing itself below the 20 SMA. So I don't think I would have exited here, but maybe I would have been tricked out if we went in around 11,700. I might have been tricked out here, making 13% in 14 days or something like that. All right, then it shoots up again, and I would probably have gotten in around here and out here, making only 2.5%. So that was not the best trade ever. I would have gotten in somewhere around here, and I would actually not really have had an exit signal, so I would have been making 20% of this. So as you can see, I'm not earning the entire trend. I'm picking some smaller trends out of it. Now let's go back and see in a bit more sideways environment here. Let me just scroll back here and see what would have happened. We have our entry here around the 25th of July, and we might get in. We get somewhat of a bounce here, also a bounce in the RSI, so somewhere around 9,700 here-ish. Doesn't matter too much. It was just to get an idea of could we have gotten in and out at some decent times. And I would probably have gotten out around here, making 15% on this move. That was kind of nice. It was from the 15th of July to the 11th of August. So also around 14 days here. Would I have gotten in again? I might actually have been tricked in on this one. Let's just say that I did here. And then I would have been shot out of it down here, establishing itself on the 20 SMA with a negative 5%. That is fair enough. Would I have gotten in anyway? Here we could see that on a 4-hour time frame, we get this bounce on the 20 SMA. It is above 200. We get the right here. But what we can see here on the daily is that the price has actually established itself below here, the 20 SMA, and has not really gone up. So we would not have taken this one, that's for certain. So as you can see, it might make sense here on the Bitcoin to actually, even in sideways market, to pick some of the profits here. And then again, doing that, we are not getting the entire trend here, but we are getting a lot more of small winners. Let's have a look at if we could, for instance, at the Ethereum, do some of the same thing. Now, the Ethereum also has shot up here with a very decent 45% in 3 weeks, something like that. And this is where we started. Maybe actually even down here we could have gotten our first signal here at the end of October. So that was around here. I would not have gotten in until the beginning of November here, I think, where we get the buy signal on the 4-hour time frame. We could have taken the Ethereum from 414 here and would have gotten out with 7% profit here. So 7% profit, that is okay as well. And we would still be in because we have the trend criteria in place here on the daily chart, and we would have gotten in here, taking it up to 22%. Again, not taking the entire trend. We are simply missing some of the trend here. But again, here we have a time period. Now this is sideways and this is below the 20 SMA on the daily chart. So we would not have taken this one. Back in July, we would definitely have been able to get in on some of the signals here. This was actually not the right exit. We would have gotten out here, and in the meantime, we could have gotten some very nice trends here, no doubt about it. An interesting thing is to see if we scroll back. This one that gets up gives us actually a buy signal around here and then turns straight back. We could have gotten in here. Let's just have a look at it. Around here at 433, and then we would have gotten out with a small loss of 5%. So it also produces some losers, but there's no doubt that when we are talking about the cryptos, we are really producing some long, strong trends when they are running. They might go sideways for a while, but boy, when they run, they sure run. And we can see the exact same thing. Now the Ripple here is absolutely insane. We get this starting of the buy signal here, and that's actually only 8 days ago, and that is including a weekend. So about a week ago, less than a week ago, and we could have gotten in. If I would have been sharp enough to do this, we could have gotten in at 0.28, something like that, and simply followed it up and made several 100% here. And of course, just as with the stock, sometimes when it really runs so fast that the 20 SMA cannot follow the move, it gets, as you can see, from the top to the 20 SMA here, and then establishing itself below, we would lose 46% here. So it might make sense to go down on a 4-hour time frame to see when should we exit. But now we are down at a time frame where you would pretty much have to sit in front of your screen all day long, being kind of a day trader, and that's not really what we want. Now the name of my channel here is Building Freedom, and that is kind of the concept, that we want to build freedom. We don't want to tie ourselves to the screen, then we have absolutely no freedom at all. But if you go through the different coins here, you can see that we are actually able, even though we get some you can see we start getting the signal here in the Litecoin back in July, And if we go back to July, even though it is a bit choppy, let's see here. Where do we have it back here? We get our first buy signal. We could get in around 51, and then we would probably be out somewhere here around 56. Not the biggest profit in the world. We might get in here at 61, take a small profit here of a couple of percentage points, and then we are actually down here where we break below the 20 SMA on a daily chart, so we would not take it on the 4-hour time frame. So it is possible to use this technique. I would, however, as I said, if I were to use it on the crypto market, I would definitely go down a time frame to the daily and the 4-hour time frame instead of the weekly and the daily. You could do it on a weekly and a daily, and you would get a much smoother long trends once in a while, but there would also be, as we talked about here, if we look at the weekly chart, there would be huge time spans of several years where you don't really have a good trend you can follow. So it would take a lot more patience. And if I were to be in cryptos, which I might, I'm not certain, but if I were, I would definitely go down a time frame. So trend following does work. It does not have always to be on a weekly and a daily time frame. I know many trend followers that are actually day traders, and in that point you're just working your way down in the chaos. I like to be on the bit longer time frame because there's less chaos, there's a bit more predictability in the movements, but I know some people using it on a lower time frame making a bunch of money. So that's about it for the crypto this time. I might not make a lot of videos here because it's not really my main my main area to invest in, but if some questions come up again, I might make a video about it in a couple of months. That's about it for now. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, press the link below the video so you sign up for our newsletter on the buildingfreedom.dk. That's all for now. Take care of yourself and your money out there. I'll talk to you again very shortly.